so I would say it's really useful for you to do that, find out where your strengths and weaknesses are, what your character is, but it's also really useful to have the people around you do it, because you'll find out there are things about them you don't know. And things you like one of the things with my father, could never understand my father because in some ways, because it was hard to get him to be kind of, what would you say, enthusiastic about adventures, something like that. He wasn't an enthusiastic person.
Right, he wasn't outgoing?
Well, he was in a sense. Well, he did the test anyways. And extroversion splits into assertiveness and enthusiasm. He's really low in enthusiasm, but he's high in assertiveness.
Right, he's assertive.
Oh, I see. He's assertive. He can put himself forward. He's forthright in his speech. He's a hard worker.
He likes to hunt.
But he's not a giggly, enthusiastic person. It's just not in his temperament. I thought, oh, that's interesting. So that was really useful.
Do you feel like you turned into that same way or no?
No, I'm enthusiastic.
Yeah, you are enthusiastic.
Yeah, I'm quite enthusiastic.
And I was watching
more like my mother in that regard, I would say. So,
do you find, is it neat to be like your mother a little bit?
Oh, my mother's a really good person. Like the thing I really liked about my mother, one thing is that I could always make her laugh. So we shared that, and so she thought I had a good sense of humor, and I used it a lot around her, and so that was really good. But she was also 100% behind me, which was great. And my mother's a nice person, she's an agreeable person. She's a caring person, but she's got a spine, man. And she didn't mollycoddle her kids. Oh yeah, she's also a very hard worker. So she had that right. Like she would take care of us, and she was on our side, but she threw us out in the world, and she didn't interfere. So and I could see that was hard for her.
That's one of your steps in your book, isn't it? That there has to be a little bit of danger when kids play.
Oh, definitely.
What is it, 12th step, I think? Or?
Yeah. Oh, don't bother children when they're skateboarding.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's right. Because if you're going to make your kids tough, which they better be if they're going to survive in the world, then you can't interfere when they're doing dangerous things carefully. And maybe not even that carefully. Right.
But still, even in that, to think about it that specifically, dangerous things carefully, that's such a place where kids learn. Oh,
that is the only place they learn. That's where everyone learns everything. When you're doing dangerous things carefully, man, that's where you learn. And so you interfere with that. You interfere with the process by which your children expand their competence. And it takes courage not to interfere with that. When you see your 3-year-old daughter climbing up the monkey bars, our daughter used to do that in our backyard, and she was 3 and the monkey bars were about 8 feet high. She liked to go right to the top and climb across them. It's like we're watching out the back window thinking, but what do? We went around out there, be careful.
Yeah.
Right, which is the thing. There's a bit of malevolence in that. Oh, my daughter's worrying me. Well, I'll go out there and take care of her, but I'll startle her. Then she'll fall. Well, that'll fix her. She won't do that again. She won't make me nervous. It's like, you got to watch those things, man.
Right. It's not about them. It's about you.
Yes, that's for sure. That's what you got to ask yourself. Am I taking care of my child, or am I just afraid to be afraid for them? There's no excuse for that.
You talked a minute ago about your mother laughing, and it's so funny. I thought since I got in I realized my mother and I never laughed when I was a kid, and I just realized that once I got into AA, like a lot of things, I started to have a lot more emotions and thoughts and feelings, and just be able to look at my life instead of being so stressed out about my current whatever. I was able to let this subside and whatever was in front of me, so I could see forward and backward a little bit, and even just see into like moments that I'd had with family. But it's just so fascinating. When you said that, I was like, oh man, that was such a thing that I realized recently. I never got to laugh with my mother. Well, that's too bad, because you're funny. Yeah.
So that would have been great. And
I think I realized, and sorry to interrupt you,
no problem.
I think one of the reasons why I ended up getting into being funny, even against probably my own will, was all I wanted to do was probably make my mother laugh.